the big hog out today. We're gonna try some more knee knocker stuff. Keep working on those transitions from like the step plate to the seat. And then I want to focus a little more on sit downs today. Really try and get those slowed down deep so I can start working on like one-handers and hand drag and stuff like that. Mainly I'm kind of just trying to wait until that lapera seat gets in so I can get that extra build up back here and not have to worry about getting thrown out or anything like that. And then maybe some burnouts to the right. I can do them all fine to the left, but I want to be able to do like figure eights with that foot down, and then definitely some more J turns, drift type stuff. Try a couple from a stop again if I can get those kind of pretty quick. Then maybe I'll try with a brake slide in and then try and clutch out of it. I'm gonna try a couple more sit downs just because I don't want to make the seat an excuse on why I shouldn't be able to do something, and then work on, I don't know if they're rolling burnouts, but burnouts with some front brake going in a circle, and I want to stop it so I can figure eight transition, go the other way, because I gotta work on going to the right because that feels a little bit weird to me, and that way I can also eventually drift to the right too instead of just being a left side only guy. I gotta just not touch the throttle and the brake when I combo. Alright, I think right before this, I was doing a sit down and the bike kind of shut off on me and then bump started itself. And usually that happens when I'm running low on gas. And I swear that one of the main tips is to actually keep this tank full as much as you can because it will shut off on you. I tend to do that, but I thought I had more in there, but I guess I was wrong. Going to the right just feels so weird. I gotta get some like beater shoes just for drifting. Look where I want to go. I'm not looking. Up the timing on that. Woo, that scared me. Motherfucker. Alrighty, it was a pretty good session. It's super hot outside right now. Knee knockers felt good. Still being able to do the transitions or the combos from the step plate to the seat and back. Biggest thing is just like, don't touch the throttle and the brake when I'm making the jump or making the movement, because that throws you off. Sit downs, I was struggling with in the beginning because one side of the lot has like 4 or 5 bumps, and you know, as much as an excuse that is, I just can't stay locked in the seat, at least with the Saddleman. So every time I hit a bump, like I grip the bar super hard instead of like leaving the weight in the seat. So later I switched to the other side of the lot and there's only one bump, and sit downs are feeling a lot better there. I was trying to get the left foot locked so I can try and take a hand off for one-handers. Once I got over there, I felt a little more comfortable. I didn't want to make an excuse of not practicing sit down just because I don't have a good enough seat. So I had to give it another go at least. Drifts, did a couple J turns. I was trying to do more just 180s instead of keeping, you know, trying to keep a circle going. I just want to start the J turn, do it, U-turn and blast out of it. And I started to get a couple decent ones, I think. Still not consistent, so it's something I need to work on. The biggest thing I got to remember is dumping the clutch is what will break the tire loose. I'm still focused too much on how much throttle I'm giving it. I'm giving it too much. I'm low siding, or I just like slowly let the clutch out like this instead of just dumping it right away. Because once you dump it and it's over on the sidewall, it'll break loose, and then I can modulate it with like my hips and the throttle. So I need to focus on just dumping the clutch and looking where I want to go. And then I did some rolling burnouts. I wanted to do, you know, when you sit in the seat and I go left, I can keep that foot down and drag it, but I want to transition that and go back to the right. We're going to the right from a standstill. I don't know why my body can't get used to that, but what I ended up doing was starting a rolling burnout standing up. I got no problem going each way standing up. And then after I got a couple rotations, I just sat down in the seat and then dropped that leg. So I got a couple of those, which felt pretty good. So I guess now I just try and link them together, try and get some figure eights, and then try and put those on limiter. But yeah, pretty decent session, pretty hot. I'm gassed, so we'll see. Hopefully the next time I have this bike out here, I'll have the LePair on, and I should be quite locked in for sit downs and everything like that. But that's gonna be the end of this lot vlog. Back at the lot again. We got the Grom and the F4i out here today. Basically gonna be riding the F4i the whole time, but we're gonna keep grinding out some foot brake work, see if I can get some more sit down circles, definitely try some more knee knockers. And the big goal today is to try and jump from sit down into a seat stander right on the clutch up and go into a circle. So hopefully I can take care of that, and maybe try some like high chair rolling burnouts and some miscellaneous stuff like that. But the usual, you know, handbrake, foot brake. It's kind of going to be a little bit of a freestyle day. So on the recap at the end, I will clue you in on what I actually accomplished today. I haven't really rolled anything, and I'm trying to trust my front end a little more here. I'm scrubbing a lot of speed off the top just because of a not a great pickup on the beginning. That's fine, whatever. Let's do some sit down circles. I feel like I've regressed on sit down circles. What the fuck, man? Come on, you. Fuck! That was pretty good. What I really want to do is be able to go between knee knocker circles and up to like a seat stander on the handbrake. That'd be pretty good. That's something I've been neglecting, is switching between and circles. I think going knee knocker circle, I can definitely switch the handbrake and get in. I've not tried going into foot brake from handbrake, so that was going handbrake to foot brake was always a little bit more difficult, I feel like, on the Grom. Maybe try it on the Crete. Ah, fuck. Damn, these fucking froggers are gonna kick my ass, dude. I'd rather just do that if I'm gonna fucking dump a frogger. There we go. Forgot to do an outro when I was here last, but it ended up being a pretty good session. Sit-down circles weren't too hot. Knee knocker circles were actually pretty good. I was able to find some good rhythm with that leg straight. I really liked how that was feeling. I think I'm gonna try and work on clutching up and getting that leg straight like right away. Because right now it's still like knee on the seat. And then once I get some smooth rotations, then I kind of start to stand up and straighten it out. But I wanna get that up quicker. And then I did some high chair rolling burnouts, which was pretty sick. I mean, a couple crashes there, which you'll see. Those were a little interesting to bail from, but once I got them going, spinning in a circle wasn't too bad. And then the other big thing that I was super stoked on was clutching up from sit down and jumping into a seat stander and getting like right into a circle. That was more of a mental block. I was doing a lot of sit down into double back peg, but the jump to seat stander is more like a 1-2 step, not so much a jump. So what I'm gonna try to work on is actually just getting both feet up at the same time, making the jump look better, essentially, instead of like left foot then right foot. Right leg lags a little bit, but it's because I don't know, left foot's a little more dominant for me, so that's what goes first. But today we're gonna keep working on sit down circles, see if I can try and recover where I was at with those. More handbrake work, clutching up from sit down, jumping in a seat stander, doing my flow, getting my routines going there. More knee knocker circle work, getting that back leg straight, and then probably finish with some clutch bumps, seat stander. Gonna try some staggered ones, maybe see if I can move around a little bit. But yeah, little handbrake, little foot brake work as usual today. Alright, we finished up tonight. Started with sit-down circles, and still not great, to be honest. I had like one good one. I wish I had better consistency. Kind of figured out if I come in a little bit faster, carry that momentum, I get better rotations. I tend to use a lot of brake, and it slows down too much, and then it kind of just low sides and dips in too hard. And I need to carry a little bit more momentum and not be afraid of getting thrown out immediately. I gotta trust that dip. If I want to make an excuse, I'm gonna blame my tire, because that thing is completely uneven and on cords most of the way. So if I'm gonna make an excuse, that's what's gonna be. But honestly, it's probably just my lack of seat time and technique there. So sit down circles, not too bad. Then we went to some handbrake stuff next. Did the sit down to seat stander jump, getting a lot more comfortable with that. Trying to almost go 2 feet at a time, make it more of a jump instead of a step. So I did that a bunch. I tried to do some handbrake flow things. I think I want to change up a couple of my routines, and the one different tricks I want to try, do like flamingo, back to seat stander, then kind of get my foot on the seat, drop down to the peg, and then try and work like foot brake into it, because I want to do some handbrake foot brake work. So I might go back to the drawing board and change up those things and try and practice that a little bit more. And then I didn't really get too far in because I kept hearing a weird noise on my bike, and I thought it was my suspension, because every time I bounced it up and down, it almost sounded like air was getting blown out of my shocks. And then I shut the bike off, shut the fan off, and tried to like bounce the front end to see if there was any noise there, and it disappeared. So I was kind of confused a little bit. And then I went to look at my radiator and fan, because sometimes that does make noise, just like the vibration of the radiator cage and stuff with the fan. Makes some noise, so I went to look, and basically the bottom bolt that holds the fan onto the bracket's missing the nut. So that fan was moving around, and I'm actually pretty glad that it didn't eat up my radiator fins at all. So I pretty much stopped right now because I didn't want to ride for another 20 minutes and destroy my radiator just because. So I didn't get to knee knocker circles today, but I'll get back out here next week and get those going. And then at the end there, you saw that like European burnout ring around the rosy. I don't know what you call that, but definitely went better than my first attempt, which you saw already. I committed here and didn't let the bike grip up. The first quarter and the third quarter of that burnout, the bike was on the ground, and then like in the middle I started to pick it up and I was bent over. So now looking at the footage, I can figure out that once it gets going, I can kind of stand up straighter and get the bike off the ground a little more, so it's not just spinning on like the edge of the tire, like barely any of the sidewall. But that's a fun little burnout thing. I'm gonna try that again. I was a little nervous to try it after what happened last time, but that was just because of my lack of commitment there and just pinning the throttle. So I kind of figured that out, so that'll be fun. That's how I'll even out the tire a little bit to get my the right side, because I don't really do many, you know, Larrys or stuff to the right as much. So I gotta find a way to even out the left there. But decent last session. I had to cut it short, but I'd rather save the bike than try and just get an extra 20 in. So we'll see you in the next one.
Hottest stash in the carpet.